The Minutes is a perfect play to see in the moment that we're in the world, in our country. It's a play about history. It's a play about the truths that we tell ourselves to cover up for the lies we've told ourselves. It's bubbling with comedy and the banality of politics and the terror of politics.
It's not really about any current candidate or even current political party. Hopefully what it addresses are some of the underlying reasons for why we're in the moment we're in politically, as opposed to being about our current politics.
It's about a city council meeting. And very much toward the beginning, no, almost immediately at the beginning of the play, the protagonist, who's new to the council but has just had to miss a meeting, he attended, I think, 2 meetings, and then he had to miss because of a family loss. His 3rd meeting, and now he returns, and something has really changed, and no one will tell him what went on at the meeting he missed. And it's like a detective story. He's the detective he spends the whole play trying to figure out what went on.
This is kind of what happens in the play. People they keep getting put in the hot seat. It's a city council meeting, so you happen upon these presumably ordinary folk in a small town in America, and then all of a sudden, let's just say some secrets start to unfold, and there might be a bit of unraveling.
I would describe it as a 90-minute dark comedy about how hard it is to be good. That's what I would say.
Yeah, I guess the first thing I would say is that it's very funny, and that's not me patting myself on the back. We've assembled a team of really gifted actors, but also comic performers. Some of these people, it's hard to get through a run-through without us cracking up on stage, because there's some very funny people up on the stage. So it's a very funny 90 minutes, and sometimes not so funny.
But I did do it before, and that whole cast was really a great room full of people, a great group of people, and I was really happy that this is exactly the same. There are many different people. Actually, there are only 4 or 5 of us that were in the original. 4 of us that are in it playing the parts we played, 1 that's in it playing a different part, and everybody else is new, but it's still a great room full of people. And the play itself, I think it just leads actors down that path of just being part of an ensemble. So I don't think it's a coincidence entirely that it's 2 great groups of people. Part of that is Anna and Tracy choosing the people.
There's no answer, or there's no question about the play that you can ask either Anna Shapiro, who's directing it, or Tracy Letts, who wrote it and is starring in it. There's no question you can ask that they can't answer. If there is an answer to be had, they will have it together. And it's also just really fun and inspiring sitting in a room with 2 people who are titans of their industry and also geniuses. I mean, it's really inspiring, and it's a lot of fun.
And have worked together for a long time?
30 years.
Yeah, so that's fascinating too, because to me there's no ego in the room.
Yeah.
They kind of razz each other, and they just get right to it.
We're both in a theater company with Tracy and Anna, so for both of us, this is we've worked with them many times. I was just in a play of Tracy's last fall here in New York as well, so that's the real joy of being part of a theater company, is these repeated relationships. And I think you develop a shorthand, a familiarity with each other, and the way that we work together, and kind of allows you to comfortably engage in disagreements and to be kind of fully forthcoming with your ideas and your thoughts, and you can kind of tear things apart and put it together. But there's also a tremendous level of trust, and I think that's what we benefit from the most. And certainly with Tracy and Anna, we're in big strong hands, and I think that we all feel confident in the writing and the direction, and so it's such a pleasure as an actor to be working that way and with such fine actors on stage too. So it's a great pleasure, and we're really proud of the play. It's an important play. It's a lot of fun, but it's also really meaningful, and I think we need something meaningful right now.
Joining this company has been a blast. You never know when you're doing anything with a specific company. It's like a precious thing. I think of it as a precious thing. You're in your little sandbox with all your friends, and the new kids come into the sandbox, and you have to be like, are they going to throw sand in my face, or are they going to share their Kit Kats? And I feel like they shared their Kit Kats with us. No, it's been incredible. Anna Shapiro runs an amazing rehearsal room. I just felt absolutely welcomed, and it never felt like a plug and play, like, well, here's what the person who got to do this before you did. It was always an exploration, I think, of how we could make the play even better, and keep kind of digging deeper into the sort of bigger picture and bigger message of the play.
Everybody's cool. Everybody gets along great, and it's a hilarious play, so there's tons of laughter in the rehearsal hall every day.
Mr. Peel is the new guy on the city council. He's joined because he's just moved to a new place. He's had a baby. His life is starting to shift and change, and he wants to leave the world a better place than he found it, so especially for his new child. So he's joined this city council thinking he's going to be sort of like a helping hand and sort of contribute in some way, and he quickly realizes that he has walked into a circus, or more like he's walked into an asylum where the inmates are running the asylum, and has to very quickly figure out what is going on, and he's having a hard time catching up.
Busyness, I think she's probably the most wealthy, the most affluent of all the people that are there. She's a widow of a man who made a lot of money and I think had a lot of sway in the town. So she's that woman that took over her husband's job. She thinks she's a lot more important than she perhaps is. On the good side of her is that there is actually a sense of wanting to do something for the common good, putting aside her own particular interests, whereas other people are there for financial gain, other things. But I mean, everybody's there for so many complex reasons, just as any of us always are. And what's interesting, I think, for us as actors playing is Tracy's writing is always about people that appear very normal, and then you realize they're totally insane, as are absolutely every one of us here at all times. And that's the discovery. That's the discovery for us as actors when you're just playing. It's like, oh, there's that little pocket of strangeness that doesn't really make any sense. But that's also what's interesting for the audience to figure out who are these people and what are they on about.
The people can sometimes you wonder why they're behaving the way they are, but there's a reason. It may not seem logical at first, but there's a real reason why people behave the way that. And it also puts you in minds of, like, in real life, you never really know what's going on in someone's life and makes them make the choices and behaving the way they do.
You hear that all the time.
Yeah,
you don't know what kind of day they've had.
Yeah.
So you're about to see what kind of day we've had.
Yeah.
If you want to see a play that takes a look at our political climate and also laugh so hard that you'll cry, come see this play.
iHeartRadio Broadway, driven by Mercedes-Benz. The best or nothing.